The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession.
Oh, the tension was just unbelievable.
It really was. Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
Right. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today we are doing a deep dive into the headline that literally broke the internet. Taylor Swift's aunt revealed what really happened inside the wedding.
I am so excited for this one.
I mean, picture the scene, right? It's the humid evening of July 3, 2026. You, the listener, are standing on the sidewalks of New York City right outside Madison Square Garden.
Which is completely locked down.
Totally barricaded. Like, the NYPD has locked down the entire grid. There are private security forces flanking every single subterranean entrance.
Yeah, and you've got a crowd of thousands pressed against those metal barriers, just frozen in this breathless anticipation.
Exactly. The paparazzi cameras are just lighting up the twilight. Because inside that massive 20,000-seat arena are the biggest pop star on the planet and a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
It's wild. You have this chaotic, deafening roar of the public spectacle on the streets, but inside...
Inside is a $20 million cone of silence.
Right, a highly classified operation unfolding indoors.
But today we're looking at what happens when that silence breaks. We're unpacking this massive stack of insider leaks, news reports, and viral footage.
And, for you listening right now,
Yeah?
Our goal isn't just to recap the guest list.
No, not at all. Even if you think you've heard every detail about this event, we want to look past the paparazzi glare.
Exactly. We want to understand the actual mechanics of how this couple turned a sterile sports arena into a deeply intimate family affair.
Right, and what those leaks tell us about the sheer impossibility of true privacy today.
It functions as this fascinating case study in modern celebrity logistics. I mean, executing this event requires the tactical planning of, like, a major political summit.
Oh, for sure.
But on the other hand, the end goal is simply two people exchanging vows. Balancing that multi-million-dollar security apparatus with a sacred wedding is a crazy tightrope walk.
It really is. So let's look at the mechanics of that security. Because the most revealing detail of the entire weekend didn't come from a drone, and it didn't come from some sophisticated iCloud hack.
No, not at all.
The event was practically a digital fortress. They confiscated cell phones, sealed them in magnetic pouches, deployed hundreds of guards.
And enforced strict non-disclosure agreements.
Right. Yet the most vivid emotional core of the night came from a loose-lipped family member sitting in the back of a New York City taxi cab.
Which is just the ultimate flaw in any security system, isn't it?
Seriously.
You can encrypt communications and lock down a physical perimeter, but human nature is the ultimate wild card.
Yeah, human joy always finds a release valve.
It does. For all the millions spent on keeping this quiet, someone is going to talk.
And it exposes the irony of the whole operation. Like, Taylor's aunt, Robin Gentry, was caught on video by LBC News as she was leaving the venue.
I watched that clip so many times.
It's incredible. The reporter leans into the window, asks her how it went, and she just lights up.
She was glowing.
The quote is fantastic. She says, they cried and they laughed and they danced and they hugged and they kissed.
It's so sweet.
And then when they asked about the catering, she casually dropped that there was lots of food and a nice cake.
A nice cake. The phrasing there is what makes it so powerful to me.
Right.
I mean, you have a couple dripping in custom Christian Dior haute couture, surrounded by A-list billionaires.
Literal Hollywood royalty.
Exactly. And the defining quote that gets beamed to the world is this refreshingly pedestrian, deeply human observation about love and a nice cake.
It completely deflates that $20 million bubble.
It really does.
It makes me think about the blind spots in these massive PR strategies. Like, you treat the wedding like a corporate merger, right?
Yeah.
You build this firewall to keep the public out.
Yeah, but you completely forget that your favorite chatty aunt doesn't operate like a corporate employee.
Exactly. You just let her wander out to a taxi without a media handler.
And honestly, from a public relations standpoint, Aunt Robin's quote is the best thing that could have happened to them.
Wait, really? You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Celebrity weddings of this magnitude constantly risk alienating the public.
That makes sense.
They become a blur of designer labels, exclusive guest lists, astronomical price tags. The narrative can quickly turn cynical.
People get tired of the flaunting.
Exactly. But Aunt Robin grounds the entire spectacle. Her genuine excitement reminds the public that at the absolute center of this media hurricane are just two people sharing a moment with their families.
It totally humanizes the event. I love that.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But wait till you hear what MSG actually looked like inside, because someone managed to completely bypass that strict phone ban.
Oh, the visual narrative is a whole different puzzle.
It really is. So while Aunt Robin gave us the emotional narrative, the leaks gave us the visual. Someone got past the security perimeter and gave us a sweeping look at Madison Square Garden.
And the visual transformation of that venue is a massive logistical feat.
Unbelievable.
But to understand it, we first have to look at the venue choice itself, because Madison Square Garden seems entirely counterintuitive for a romantic wedding.
I mean, it's a basketball arena. It's literal concrete and steel.
Right. But looking at the reports, the choice wasn't about the aesthetics at all. It was about the infrastructure.
Oh, like the crowd control.
Yes.
Yeah.
MSG is built to safely move massive crowds and protect high-target VIPs.
Ah, of course.
It has these subterranean loading docks where you can drive a fleet of black SUVs straight underground.
Yeah.
You eliminate the street-level vulnerability entirely.
That makes so much sense. You can't do that at a sprawling outdoor estate in Rhode Island.
Exactly. Because paparazzi can just fly drones over the tree line there.
So they essentially bought architectural control.
Precisely. But the challenge then shifts entirely to the interior design. Like, how do you mask the sheer scale of a 20,000-seat arena?
You don't just decorate it.
No, you have to fundamentally alter the topography of the room.
And the leaked video obtained by the Daily Mail shows exactly how they terraformed it.
It looked insane.
Guests described walking into this enchanted garden or like a whimsical Tinkerbell fairy tale.
The footage is so surreal.
Right. It shows these massive peach and white drapes covering everything, the floors, the stadium seating, the exposed ceilings.
He essentially built a giant tent inside the arena.
Yeah, and they brought in towering trees, emerald drapery, and these soaring architectural archways to shrink the visual space.
They also leaned heavily into hyper-personal branding.
Oh, the monogram.
Yes, they projected a giant double T monogram on the walls. But the detail that really anchored the space was the photography.
I love that part.
They displayed these large, blown-up photos of Swift and Kelce at every single age, side by side, from when they were one-year-olds all the way through their teenage years.
And eagle-eyed fans even spotted a specific photo in the leak of the couple with a dog, which just adds to that cozy domestic vibe, you know? And they extended this branding to the guest favors these floral-wrapped gifts sealed with a wax stamp of that same double T monogram.
That is so detailed. And meanwhile, outside, they gave the city a show.
Oh, yeah, they definitely did.
Their famous MSG Jumbotrons were flashing Justin T. married.
With the T standing out.
Right. And the Empire State Building lit up in something blue.
It's a brilliant dichotomy. They offer the public these massive, bright declarations of love on the outside, which satisfies the city's desire to participate.
Yeah, it feeds the fans.
While fiercely guarding the intimate aesthetics on the inside.
But wait, I have to challenge this narrative of total control for a second.
No, challenge away.
We keep talking about this airtight security perimeter and subterranean entries. If every single guest had their phones strictly confiscated at the door and locked in one of those magnetic pouches,
Right.
how do we have highly detailed, sweeping video footage of the altar? The math doesn't add up.
That is the million-dollar question. I guess it's the reality of scaling an event to this size.
Exactly. When you hear a phone ban, you imagine absolute compliance. But let's break down the failure points of a system like Yonder, where phones are locked in pouches.
Okay, let's break it down.
First, you have the guests. 1,000 attendees mean someone might bring a secondary burner phone.
Or a hidden camera. Or they record via a smartwatch.
Right. Or they just pry the magnetic lock open in a bathroom stall.
Which definitely happens.
It does. But the bigger vulnerability is the labor force. To feed, entertain, and manage 1,000 guests, you need at least 500 support staff.
Oh, wow. Caterers, lighting technicians, florists, security personnel.
Exactly. You can confiscate 999 phones, but the sheer volume of human traffic means a leak is just the inevitable tax of modern mega fame.
Which means they knew a leak was highly probable, if not guaranteed. They chose MSG knowing the risks.
They did. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the choice of MSG isn't just about the subterranean loading docks, it's deeply psychological.
How do you mean?
Think about where these two people spend the vast majority of their working lives. Swift is the ultimate arena performer. Kelce is a stadium athlete.
Oh, right. These cavernous concrete venues are literally their offices.
Exactly. It's where they're most at home.
Yeah.
So Transforming Madison Square Garden was about taking the type of space where they normally give themselves away to millions of fans and turning it inward.
Wow. They inverted the dynamic.
Yes, they transformed a public arena into their private living room.
That living room analogy is fascinating. But bringing your living room to an arena creates a massive contradiction.
Oh, for sure.
Because how do you maintain that intimacy when you have 1,000 Hollywood elites staring at you?
Right, it's a huge audience.
Well, you strip away the one thing everyone expects at a massive wedding, the bridal party.
It is a remarkable departure from tradition. In a room filled with over 1,000 people, there were no long lines of bridesmaids in matching dresses.
None.
There were no groomsmen.
They just had family at the altar. Taylor's brother, Austin Swift, stepped up as her man of honor. Travis's brother, Jason Kelce, was his best man.
And Jason's kids walked down the aisle as the flower girls.
That's so simple.
By stripping away the massive celebrity entourages at the altar, Swift and Kelce made a very deliberate statement.
Yeah. What do you think that statement was?
Well, for them, having an entourage of famous friends is just a Tuesday. It's their everyday reality.
That's true.
By removing that and focusing only on their siblings, they used the absence of spectacle as the ultimate luxury. They grounded themselves in family amidst the chaos of their public lives.
I love that perspective. And here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about the logistics of the ceremony itself.
Oh,
Because the reports note they read their own vows for 20 minutes each.
20 minutes.
20 minutes of speaking in a 20,000-seat arena, even one draped in peach fabric, is a massive undertaking.
The acoustics alone make it difficult to be vulnerable.
Right. Guests described the vows, which were read from tiny little books, as real, vulnerable, serious and silly, and deeply loving.
Delivering a 20-minute monologue requires holding a room's attention, which both of them know how to do.
Obviously.
But to offset the heaviness and the self-seriousness of such a highly anticipated moment, you need a grounding rod. You need someone to break the tension.
Which brings us to the efficient. You'd expect a high-profile religious figure, or maybe, like, a legendary music icon.
Right, like Elton John or someone.
Exactly. But they chose Adam Sandler.
Which is brilliant. It makes perfect sense when you analyze the psychology of a celebrity wedding.
It does.
Yeah. When a room is that packed with industry titans, the energy can become incredibly stiff and pretentious.
Oh, like a networking event.
Yes. But according to the reports, Sandler didn't just officiate. He sang a humorous, touching original song for them right at the altar.
That is so classic Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler represents authenticity and low-stakes comfort. His presence signals to the room, take a breath, we are here to celebrate, not to network.
It perfectly matches the energy of those silly and serious vows.
Absolutely.
Though it's worth noting the fashion was anything but low stakes.
Oh, the fashion was next level.
They were both decked out in custom Christian Dior haute couture designed by Jonathan Anderson.
Amazing.
Swift wore Cartier jewelry and Christian Louboutin heels. And the guest list looking back at them was a collision of industries.
The audience essentially functioned as a physical representation of pop culture.
Literally. You had Selena Gomez in a shimmering Snow White look. You had Gigi Hadid in a $14,500 corset dress.
Incredible.
Hugh Grant, Jason Sudeikis, Ethan Hawke, even Steven Spielberg was there, apparently talking filmmaking with director Joseph Kahn.
Wow.
And the entertainment didn't stop with Adam Sandler. Stevie Nicks gave a live performance, and reports even mentioned Paul McCartney performing a Beatles classic at the reception.
It operates on the scale of a state dinner or a royal wedding.
It really does.
But what's crucial is the separation of church and state, so to speak.
Right.
Well, despite the Cartier, the Dior, and the presence of Steven Spielberg in the crowd, the focus of the ceremony itself, the altar, remained entirely on their siblings and their self-written vows.
It's a masterful way to manage a crowd. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, by the way, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
You definitely want to subscribe.
Because maintaining that strict boundary between the public audience and the private altar requires some pretty extreme measures.
It definitely does.
And later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming regarding the extreme lengths they went to for privacy and the people who paid the price.
Right, because maintaining a secret garden inside MSG requires more than just good intentions. It requires enforceable legal contracts.
The legal stuff.
This is where the fairy tale narrative hits the hard, logistical wall of reality.
Let's get into the non-disclosure agreements, the NDAs. The headlines coming out of this wedding are wildly conflicting when it comes to who was legally bound to silence.
The contrast between the reports is fascinating. It highlights the tension between how the couple wants to be perceived and the realities of protecting their brand.
Okay, so one insider source, speaking to the outlet Naughty But Nice, claimed there were absolutely no exceptions to the NDA rule.
None at all.
None. They said if you wanted to know where to go, when to arrive, or what the schedule looked like, you sign the NDA first. No signature, no details.
Wow.
And this source alleged that this extended even to Taylor's closest relatives. They said, being family didn't earn anyone special treatment.
That sounds intense, but then you have a completely opposing narrative pushed by other outlets.
Right. Page 6 published a report painting a much warmer picture. Their source argued that Swift and Kelce did not require their closest friends and family to sign NDAs at all.
Oh, interesting.
The quote was, protecting their privacy is just something everyone in their inner circle has always naturally done. They even claimed some family members volunteered to sign the contracts just to provide extra reassurance.
You can clearly see the PR spin here on both sides.
Totally.
One report paints the couple as these paranoid corporate executives enforcing draconian rules on their own mothers.
Right.
And the other paints them as being surrounded by a protective, fiercely loyal tribe who happily police themselves.
Let's pause and actually look at how a family NDA functions mechanically. Because if you sit down with your mother or your brother and hand them a multi-page legal document threatening financial ruin if they talk about your wedding.
Right, it's awkward.
What does that actually look like legally? Am I really going to trigger a liquidated damages clause and sue my own mom for leaking the menu?
Probably not.
It completely kills the familial vibe.
It sounds incredibly harsh to an everyday person, but we have to view the NDA not as a weapon but as a corporate firewall.
Okay, explain that.
For Swift and Kelce, a single forwarded text message or one screenshot of an itinerary has immense financial value to the tabloid press.
It literally puts a bounty on their private communications.
Precisely. So asking a family member to sign an NDA isn't necessarily about distrusting that specific relative.
Right.
It's an acknowledgement of the hostile digital environment they live in. It's establishing the gravity of the event.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The NDA is essentially saying, I trust you, but I need you to understand that if a barista looks over your shoulder while you read my text, it becomes international news.
Right. The legal document forces a behavioral shift. It ensures everyone operates with the utmost caution.
Exactly. It's less about preparing for a lawsuit and more about deterrence.
Yeah. It's highly unlikely they would ever sue a family member because the PR fallout would be catastrophic. The contract just exists to formalize the boundary.
But there are real-world consequences when those protections fail, and it's not always the inner circle that pays the price.
No, it's not. There is a dark twist to this story. Amidst all the joy and the floral arrangements, there are credible reports that some Madison Square Garden employees were fired for violating those NDAs.
And that exposes the friction between working-class reality and billionaire privacy.
It really does.
You have stadium employees who are suddenly thrust into the middle of a historical pop culture event.
Right, they're just doing their jobs.
The temptation to snap a quick photo on a burner phone to prove to your friends that you were there must be immense.
But doing so triggers the actual enforcement of that corporate firewall. It's sobering to think that someone lost their livelihood just so a tabloid could post a blurry video of a peach drape and a double T monogram.
It highlights the collateral damage of the celebrity ecosystem. The couple goes to staggering lengths to build a wall, the public demands to see over it, and the working-class people caught in the middle are the ones who suffer the actual consequences.
So let's pull all of this together. The juxtaposition of this event is just incredible.
It really is.
On one hand, you have a $20 million operation. You have subterranean logistics. You have Steven Spielberg and Paul McCartney mingling in a terraformed basketball arena. And you have employees losing their jobs over leaked photos.
It is the ultimate manifestation of the Hollywood machine.
But at the very heart of all that armor, stripped of the bridal parties and the industry networking, it boiled down to a man and a woman reading vulnerable vows from little books.
Yeah.
It was Adam Sandler singing a goofy song to break the tension. It was a brother serving as a man of honor. And it was a proud, joyful aunt gushing about a nice cake in the back of a New York taxicab.
It serves as a masterclass in how people who live entirely in the public eye attempt to carve out a sacred space for themselves.
Absolutely.
They use the massive machinery of megastardom, the NDAs, the arena lockdowns, the custom Dior, not to show off, but to aggressively protect something fundamentally normal.
And that matters to you, the listener, because while we don't have $20 million budgets, we all curate our lives.
Good idea.
We all have a public face we show the internet and a private reality we protect. Swift and Kelce are just doing it on an unimaginable scale, showing us the extreme lengths required to keep something just for yourself when the whole world feels entitled to your story.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over regarding the nature of those leaks.
Oh, I'm curious.
In an age where digital footprints are inevitable, where a room of 1,000 people is statistically guaranteed to have a camera, and where arena workers are willing to risk their jobs, is true privacy for public figures essentially dead?
Wow.
Or, consider this, are these leaks actually controlled? Is an aunt's joyful taxi interview or a harmless video of floral arrangements actually a strategic part of managing the modern celebrity ecosystem?
That is a fascinating angle. When you build barricades that high, maybe you intentionally leave one window open.
Exactly.
You feed the beast just enough cake so it doesn't tear down the gates. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
You won't want to miss it.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.